next.
Coming up tonight, colon cam. Find out what happens when 7 worms live in a colon, stop being polite, and start being real. Plus, Andrew Goldberg of the Smoking Gun tells us why Jerry Seinfeld's garage is no laughing matter. Hey, what's up with garages? And our Girl Gone Wired has a fascinating and gripping bio on her website. Here's an excerpt. I can still remember the day when I first laid eyes on a Piggly Wiggly grocery store. That's it. Hey, everyone. I'm Laura Swisher, and you're watching Unscrewed.
Unscrewed.
And here he is, a man who downloads the MP3 version of McDonald's jingle, I'm loving it, and sings it incessantly at the office. It's Martin Sargent.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Wonderful to have you on the program. Thanks for being here. What a fine audience. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Stop it.
I'm
No.
loving it. I know, I can't get that out of my head. And as a result, I can't stop eating the chicken nuggets and everything. The plan is working, Laura. I'm loving it. Hey, everyone, welcome to Unscrewed, the show that's content to merely farm its land and raise its children until the day outriders attack, and then it will take up the sword and lead its people to battle and to victory. I'm Martin Sargent. So check this out, man. My cell phone just up and broke last night. Just quit on me just as I was trying to call in an order of Applebee's riblets to go. It's freaking the things are just really starting to piss me off. In fact, let's just dive right in and address the elephant in the techie living room. Cell phones are flimsy-assed, infuriating pieces of plastic crap. They're expensive, yet cheaply made, and either they don't work well or they're flat out broken. Listen, cell phone maker people, have you not heard of that shining, sturdy material known as metal? Yes, metal. See, unlike plastic, metal doesn't crap the bed at the first sign of trouble or extreme pocket friction. No. Now, check this out. This is a damn cell phone with some balls, man. I mean, yeah. Tell you what, you huck that sumbitch out the window of your Toyota Cressida doing 80 on the freeway through Death Valley on your way to Reno, and then pick it back up on your way home, and it would still work well enough for you to pawn the bastard for some gas money. Now, that's a phone, brother. You know, sure, today's cell phones, they're small, and they're cute with their tiny little buttons and cute little flip tops. Yeah, but guess what? Cute doesn't cut it. I mean, look at my hands. Look at my hands. These are not the hands of a giant. I am not a monster. I'm a normal-sized man. But look at these buttons. Look, who are they making these things for? The magical wee folk who live in toadstools over in Happy Elf Village? I'll tell you another thing. Cell phone reception. You know what? I can hear you now. And it sounds like this. I agree. I mean, okay, I wonder who that was. Was it the president of Zanzibar calling? The mayor of Cuba? Who knows? Can't understand him. I get 1 foot under the surface of the Chuck E. Cheese ball crawl, and my reception goes all to hell. But joy of joys, at least my cell phone plays a jaunty little hip-hop rap tune, Jay's Cheese bullshit, when it rings. 1,000 yays, oh yeah. And that is why. All of this is why last night I took it upon myself to book some time with the inventor of the cell phone, Professor Phineas Ludlow, over at UC Berkeley, and we had a fairly frank discussion.
Well, Professor, guess you wish you did a little bit more research on cell phone technology, yeah? You want to make a cell phone call? Go ahead. Guess what? You can't, because you don't get reception.
So, cell phones are neat, they're neat, but when times get tough, having a cute little blue glowing cell phone that plays the theme song from Chariot to Fire ain't gonna mean diddly jack, but you'll be begging for one of these, my friend. Yeah. All right, enough about this crap. Let's watch some video that captures the spirit of the fine men and women of the NASA Space Agency in a segment called Moments in NASA History.
And now it's time for another moment in NASA history.
Okay, guys, it's not funny anymore. Come on, let me back in.
There you have it.
A lot of anger.
There's a lot of anger concerning the cell phone. These things are ruining my life. I mean, especially, you know, I drink. So that's another problem because you have this thing with you when you go out and then you start the drunk dialing. I mean, last night between the hours like 1:30 and 1:35, I look at my call log this morning. I called every girlfriend I've ever had.
I tried to talk him out of it, but it didn't work. You know what I love and I'm looking forward to is the big fat tumor I have 5-10 years down the line. But you know when you're talking on the phone for a long time and then all of a sudden your phone gets like really hot? Like I can feel the tumor starting.
Mm-hmm. And the little shards of fiberglass start fighting. Do you get that on your phone?
Shards of fiberglass?
I pay extra for that piece.
He's got the asbestos phone.
Get rid of this thing. Hey, tonight's show is going to shine brighter than 10,000 diamonds on fire on the 4th of July. Our old friend Andrew Goldberg from thesmokinggun.com will talk smack about celebrities. And our Girl Gone Wired is a real hot deep dish pie of love, a pie that I would like to penetrate. But before all that, who wouldn't? Wait till you see this broad. She's hot, all right? But before we do all that, usually when we think of worms, we think of fish bait, abdominal parasites, or things that we pluck out of Joey the intern's hair. But some worms have the power to heal. Via netcam from Clinto, Iowa, here's whipworm lover, Mr. Raymond Fiedler. Hey, Raymond. Wonderful to have you on the program, my friend. So you have a health condition. You suffer from ulcerative colitis. Tell us what that is.
Well, what happens is I got ulcers in my colon, and if they polyps can develop into cancer. Mm-hmm. So then I need to, use things to get rid of them. And the whipworms do that. Okay, let's stop right there. So you got these things growing in your colon. You've got a lot of pain, perhaps a little fecal urgency, etc. In order to combat all that, you started eating worms. Drinking them. Drinking them, that's right. I mean, what kind? These aren't your normal garden variety kind of worms. What sort of worms are you ingesting? They're whipworms from pigs, but you don't see them. You don't smell them. Do you feel them crawling around up in there? Nope, not at all. I just know they're in there doing their job. Yeah, well, we're looking at them right now, and they're doing something, man, and my God, is that disgusting. It's a bunch of worms. There's a bunch of worms swimming around in your colon.
It's a very photogenic colon, by the way.
It's a very wet colon you have, sir. Very wet. Now, how do you get these things into your body? You said it's not a suppository. You eat them, right? You drink them? How do you I drink them in Gatorade. Uh-huh.
The X Factor, I believe.
How does that taste?
You can't see them. They're microscopic, so you don't see them. You don't smell them. You don't taste them. All you taste is the Gatorade, and Gatorade's good. It's a very tasty beverage, isn't it? So is this worked? Has it solved your health condition at all? It has. Before I started drinking these worms, they thought they might have to remove part of my colon. But since I've been taking them for the last 2 years now, my colon has been absolutely clean. Really? Yep. So these things, you said you got these polyps. What's the mechanism in place here? The worms are actually crawling around up there, and they're actually eating the walls. There it is right there. I guess that's a worm chewing on a polyp. What's going on? Yeah, that's just it. They're eating all the bad bacteria in there. Uh-huh. See, I guess what this is kind of a 20th century condition you have here. Back in the day, like when things weren't so sanitary, we all had these worms in our stomach. It's just recently, with hygiene and everything, that we don't have enough worms in there, and therefore we have to drink them in Gatorade.
I hate hygiene.
That's right. Back in the Middle Ages, people didn't have colon problems. No, they didn't. That's because they only lived until they were 15 years old or so, but they didn't have colon problems, and they were about 4 feet high. So is this a sanctioned medical procedure? I mean, can I go down to the Walgreens pharmacy and buy like a little styrofoam container of the worms and down them? I mean, how does this work? I don't think you can do that right now. No, this is done through hospitals. Uh-huh. But it's available to everyone, or is it still an experimental phase? It's still in the experimental stage. But it worked for you, didn't it, my friend? It worked for, I know of 47 people in the program that it helped them. Mr. It didn't hurt any of them. That's a fantastic story. I'm very glad that you're feeling better. I just wish that I was after looking up your colon. Best of luck, my friend. Stay healthy.
That is such a thing that should totally be on Fear Factor. Except of drinking with Gatorade, snort them.
There you go.
Right?
See, that is the mind of a great television producer right there, Laura Swisher. All right, coming up next, Andrew Goldberg from The Smoking Gun with new tales of celebrity wrongdoing. Stick around, won't you?
If you scan